Well, November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and according to the American Cancer Society, it's the second most common cancer in the U.S. for both men and women. And with many cancers, early screening is vital to catching lung cancer and getting it treated. Joining us now, Dr. Jason Shaw, the director of the Maimonides Lung Cancer Screening Program, and he also helped establish one of New York's first lung cancer screening programs back in 2013. Doc, thank you for being with us here.
Thank you for having me and giving a little attention to what's such an important thing to be talking about.
Without a doubt. Let's talk about some of the misconceptions when it comes to who is at risk for lung cancer. Most people think of it as only a disease suffered by smokers, but why is that wrong? And who else is lung cancer really impacting these days?
Well, it's clearly smoking is a driver for developing lung cancer, but we know now that the biggest group that we see with lung cancer are former smokers. So most people, or a lot of people, over 50% are former smokers who smoked at some point in their life. But 20% of women, for example, are never smokers with lung cancer. So there are things at play and risk factors that we haven't fully elucidated that are really making this lung cancer something that affects a lot of people. And we know that if you do smoke, you have about a 15% lifetime risk of developing lung cancer. So it's former smokers who we can screen for, current smokers, and there are unfortunately about 15 to 20% of people who never smoked who do get lung cancer. So that's this.
Your team has diagnosed hundreds of cancers, many at early stages, obviously, which we know is best, early detection being first and foremost. What does that tell us, though, about the power of screening when people actually, I guess, take the measures to use it and get screened early?
So we know that screening saves lives. It's a quick scan. It takes about 15 seconds literally in the scanner and about 10 minutes to get it. And from a huge trial that was out in over 10 years ago, we have a 22% reduction in death from lung cancer. So in this, it's a painless, quick scan. You'll save a lot of lives. And my message is to get the word out there. You don't need anything invasive, and that's borne out in the community since that trial, and in our program here at Maimonides in Brooklyn, where we've picked up numerous early stage cancers where it's easier to treat and be cured from. So that's, I'm a surgeon in addition to heading the lung cancer screening program. And so the advances that we've made in terms of treating this disease are amazing, and getting people to survive the disease and get back to their lives. And that's our goal.
Yeah, as we know, screening's not always accessible to everyone equally out there. But how are you guys trying to address those barriers and reach more at-risk communities?
So all communities are at risk. Ours in Brooklyn are particularly at risk, and in New York City, where you have large populations of smokers. And so we do everything that we can, including the fact that lung screening it's a free service. It's covered by insurance. And for those that don't have insurance, we've partnered with elected officials, and we've obtained grants where sometimes we can even extend that service for reduced or even free. But if you do qualify, and the qualifications are you're 50 to 80 years old, you've smoked a pack a day for 20 years, and you're a current smoker or quit in the last 15 years, you should get screened, and you should really reach out to your doctor, or just mention this to your friends or family to try to get you a quick 15-second CT of the chest to make sure there's not a cancer growing in there, because lung cancer at the early stages, where it's easier to treat, does not cause any obvious symptoms. So that's something that it's one of those things that we're trying to address. Get there, get screened, and saved by the scan. And so we partnered with a lot of these organization and community organizations, leaders, and this can be this messaging we do in multiple languages. So
got it.
That's kind of how we've tried to address some of the barriers.
Excellent. Dr. Shaw, thank you very much. We appreciate you taking a few moments for us this morning.